but Bermuda had the same advantage on their own attack, so fair and square. Phase 2 won that one, but cannot deny that Guru is currently showing off a very good Zarya. Phase 2 going to be starting off on the defense once again. Bermuda going to be aggressing, and does look like neither of our teams want to budge right now from 3-3 versus 3-3, but are Bermuda going to start feeling their heat because they're consistently being out-contested on this 3-3 by Phase 2. Currently, Phase 2 are on match points, so Bermuda, they may feel pressure to shake it up here.
This could have been the map as well that we could have seen something a little bit different. Maybe an Ashe on the defense or something like an Orisa with a Junkrat, something to hold the high ground. But right now, Bermuda obviously on the attack, so they can't do such crazy things. So they are just going to be on the 7-3-3 like you said. Jeez. You got to calm down, buddy. He's just running head first straight into Onyx, feeding him so much ult charge already. And in fact, look at Hypno now. He actually gets booped out, so that means Guru's now all alone. Duplicate is going to be able to recharge his shield up to max. Same with Hypno, who's taking some more time to make sure he's going to be on the same, or on a level playing field.
Duplicate here doing a really good job of playing an angle where Guru can't get quite as much shield pressure in as Hypno is taking. Guru now playing up on the high ground. No one can escape his sights, and he's got the energy to make it work. We'll give it up and give Hypno the bubble.
Oh, Hypno and Duplicate, they both have Discord orbs attached to them. Duplicate, though, gets dropped on by Ultimate Web. Hypno tried to get a cheeky flank on him to try and get the pin onto the wall. Didn't quite happen, but King ends up going down to a Flame Strike nonetheless. With Bermuda cleaning out the rest of the fight and capping point number 1.
There's going to be a couple of ultimates to go as well. They're already moving forward, trying to take out Isonics. Removing that energy from him will be absolutely critical, but he will get a repair pack from King. Will keep him nice and safe. That will bring King up to the rally, so Jaws, you better limber up those lips, buddy, because this next fight, it's going to be a mad one. It's going to be a fast one. Bermuda are going to try and make their most of the momentum that they have. They have a lot of ultimates to go as well. Same thing on the side of Phase 2. We are going to be seeing almost 11 ultimates here ready. Ultimate going to be the only one missing from that fray, only 50% of the way towards a rally. Hypno and Guru going to claim the high ground. Guru uses his personal barrier to get a little bit of that energy so he can follow through on his own graviton. Should be required. Pizza Demon's got a great advantage with this positioning.
Nice grab. The Shadows to try and stop the incoming assault. There's the self-destruct. OG caught out completely. Another self-destruct launched in. Shield removed. Nishik tanks the blast. But King ends up going down. He had no shield to speak of. Duplicate with the desperation shatter sent it out right into the shield of Hypno. But Fast with the sound barrier to try and keep the rest of his team alive. Pizza Demon at the back line though, Harry. He just got himself 3 kills as he was free to do whatever he wanted.
Pizza Demon getting away with murder there. It's on its slide straight down.
You can't do that on it. He just landed. At least shatter the May. King ends up falling regardless. Duplicate doesn't even finish the rest of his charge. And it is all the stagger game now for Phase 2. But Bermuda are going to have a heck of a time bank. Onyx is going to come back in once more. Self-destruct does land onto the point. There's no way he's surviving that. In fact, only just as he does use the adaptive shields to try and get some more sustainability. King gets booped away. 2 ticks. A third one gets completed. Phase 2 end up going down so fast. You did say it was going to be quick, Harry, but I didn't quite expect that speed.
Game's done quick over here, Jules. Nishik was actually playing that from the high ground, trying to hit those shots and build up a Transcendence for a potential counter-attack. There was still a tick and a half to go, so he was able to, relatively, with a clean conscience, stay in that safe position and try and lay down the damage, maybe get an early pick that could start snowballing back in favor of Phase 2, but Bermuda there with a decisive engagement. And what I liked there was they made a decision that's very hard to make. OG died early to the Graviton self-destruct combo. Could not be saved, but the remainder of the team was still alive. So at that point, you're like, okay, this is Assault. There's such an attrition advantage here for Phase 2. They are so much closer to spawn. Do we continue committing to this fight? We've already committed a Transcendence, and we've got a big time bank here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to fully commit to this fight, see if we can make it work with the tools that we have. And they ended up managing to get a significant amount of value out of those ultimates as well. So losing OG there, they were not unnerved. They did not lose their cool. They kept their shot calling very good. I'm surprised that they were actually as decisive as they were. They must have had some great target calling there from Pizza Demon to have lost their main support, who we would assume is the main caller, and still be able to clutch that one out.
Well, now round number 2. Phase 2 get the chance to attack. No funny business from Bermuda. Maybe they've leveled up in the break. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe they were sandbagging all along. We'll never know, Harry. 5 minutes in the time bank is going to be the record that Phase 2 have to beat, if they can, of course. Although, look at the different positioning here from Bermuda. Willing to take a fight extremely early. Phase 2 were more than happy, actually, just to fight on point. Bermuda making sure they can contest as much ground as possible.
Taking a fight early, however, does mean that Pizza Demon may well be untouched on the high ground. You can see that he's up there at the moment. We'll be able to freely rain down orbs from above, but Hypnot is being pushed backwards, and OG got way too aggressive.
A couple of headshots from Faz. OG once again going aggro. Nishik is also going to go and find a kill on Hypnot. Another game's done quick, Harry. They might just beat Bermuda's sprint to second. It'll be shoe falling. There you go. Ultimate finally ends up going down. 6 members on the point. Phase 2. We'll be able to cap first. Now the sprint to second point. Not as many ultimates on board though, Harry. No one has actually achieved one just yet.
Although the patron saint of bloodthirsty support smiling on from above at the aggression there of Nishik and Faz getting opening picks, and opening frags from supports is so valuable. Look, OG's actually going to swap over now. No longer wants to play on Lucio. He doesn't want to disengage. Instead, he wants to have that bionic grenade. Pika, he's got to be on him to eat this grenade now. That's the main offensive tool.
He's sick of dying. That's what it is. He's sick of getting just booped around headshot as soon as he tries to jump in. Shu instantly gets killed, and Duplicate helps off killing Hypnot. That'll be OG going down as well. Another couple of supports kills for Nishik and Faz. And now they've already acquired 2 ticks. This looks like an impressive time bank. Is they going to be able to get back in time? 6 minutes and 38 seconds for phase 2. Games done quick indeed. I think it's honestly one of the quickest time banks I've ever seen. Over 6.5 minutes. That is actually incredible.
We're going to 9 and 10 right here. To see 1 minute and 22 the total time there taken to capture Horizon Lunar Colony. It's about as fast as it gets. And there, OG, because he swapped over to the Ana, there may have been more point healing available, but he could be so easily rushed upon by a 3-3 ball of meat with a Lucio behind it. You're just not going to be able to escape that. You can sleep maybe one person, you can anti-nade another, but those anti-nades can be cleansed by the projected barriers and the self-barrier that are proffered by its Onyx. And its Onyx got so much charge there that he was just able to carve through whatever was in front of him.
You can use that speed boost to kind of disengage when you do get purpled as well if you've got no other means, but that just gives up yet another tool. I like the Ana on the defense because you don't really need the Lucio all that much. You can use the range of the Ana, but man, that's super unfortunate. He did manage to find 1 grenade. It didn't actually get eaten in the end. It actually got duplicate, but like you said, Onyx was so high charged anyway that no one could actually contest duplicate regardless because they were just going to get a face full of energy.
I agree that the Ana in theory isn't too bad, but I feel like if you are going to play the Ana, you can't give away all that space to walk up to the Ana for free. Like, they just walked on forward. Face were like, oh, I guess we'll just walk to your Ana because no one's in our way. You're basically playing like you have a Lucio, except you don't have that speed boost. So, not the ideal play there from Bermuda, not getting the maximum value out of that here. And you can see right here, Duplicate is actually going to stay up on the high ground, not going to be copying the Hypnot strat. He's instead going to rotate to the point, and it's the same rotation again from Bermuda, going to try and catch out a couple members.
Yeah, Hypnot now being a little bit more cautious when it comes to his shield health. He's going to back off momentarily to recharge it. Nice little speed boost there, and Hypnot actually sends himself right to the back line of phase 2 and ends up assassinating Nishik as well. This time around it actually ended up working out. Duplicate was left then all alone as phase 2 were trying to corral back onto their supports, and Bermuda again, once again, they've just walked all over the defense of phase 2. Harry, no one can defend first point.
Defenses are hard, Jaws, and that one is all on Shu right there. He was getting so much extra pressure onto Duplicate shield. The rest of his team disengaged, but for some reason, Duplicate held up his shield and just let Pika, or rather Shu, spam it from the high ground. So he was at such a huge disadvantage compared to Hypnot in that shield wall, could be ran over so easily by everybody. There, Shu, utilizing the high ground, utilizing that positioning was definitely what won that out for Bermuda. And now they're going to be able to rush forward with the rally. Look at the advantage he has over King, only 43% of the way there, already a charge.
Nice little boop actually onto Duplicate to send him to the low ground. The rest of his team will follow him, however, as they do manage to find a kill onto Nishik. That rally was going off as Hypnot does lay down that shadow. That shield instantly broke as soon as that shadow ended up connecting, meaning Duplicate is sent to the grave. Another tick has been acquired. A Graviton Surge actually to pin everybody to the wall. No follow-up whatsoever, but they're still managing to stall on the point.
Guru's got his own Graviton Surge ready to go. Will Duplicate even reach the point? No one's going to get there, Jaws.
Nishik with the trance. He was so close. So close. No one else was able to touch him. Once again, was that over 3 minutes? Yeah, so no one, like, we've hardly depleted a time bank here at all. Like, it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds still left.
Points.
Yeah, That's actually insane. Now it's Phase 2's chance to attack. They have 6 minutes and 38 themselves.
I told you guys, we're going to 10 rounds here.
Yeah.
I hope you guys like Horizon Lunar Colony. Strap on an oxygen tank because we're going to be on the moon for a while.
I don't want to do that, Harry. I don't want to go to 10 rounds.
One mad hold from Bermuda. That'd be so much down. 10
rounds.
That'd be such a long game, dude.
It's so, like, even like 6 rounds is so grueling. Like, not only on your mental, but like the amount of times that you have to like set up and go again, set up and go again. It doesn't really seem like it's a massive feat for both these teams to actually take first and second. Apparently, like I said before, no one can defend very well. Very much better on the offense. Maybe that's all they've been scrimming. I'm not entirely sure. But that's grueling on your mental and like on your ability to kind of pace yourself throughout the rest of the series too. Remember, Phase 2 right now are on match point. If Bermuda let this one go, they're going to lose straight up.
Like, momentum here seems to be king, so I'd love to see, like, a protracted fight on the first point, where you don't use any ultimates on the defense. So on second point, you have those available, and you force them out from the offense. Phase 2 this time going to be attacking Hypno once again, going to drop. This did not work last time, Jaws, but they're trying the same strategy again, and Hypno once again isolated. Great boot from Faz.
Yeah, she this time is actually on the high ground, just pelting everybody from above, so it does look like Phase 2 have kind of taken that into account and playing a little bit more safely. Not really too much damage that can be blocked. King, for some reason, isolated alone on the sidelines. He was with Faz, but Brigitte and Lucio on their own. Nice pim onto OG, but he will be able to get back to the point rather quickly. Spawn advantage in the favor of Phase 2 still, however.
And we talked about King's aggression has been a motif for Phase 2. He's been incredibly aggressive, trying to levy the survivability that Brigitte has when they are a solo operator, can stay alive for a lot longer than usual squishy or support character. Hypno once again going to be challenging on the low ground, but he is kind of cut off at the moment. He's going to have to be joined by so many of his teammates.
And look at Guru. He had free access to the backline there, and he's just right-clicking into the mass of blue bodies on the side of Phase 2. Hypno and Duplicate do end up getting traded, but it is Bermuda once again winning the team fight out. They just need to clean up the rest of Phase 2. Nishik is on point, but yeah, he will get instantly spotted out as he does end up trying to cap. But they're just giving so much room here to Bermuda to work freely. Guru has a Graviton Surge. Onyx is only 5% away, yes, but Guru just did so much in that fight.
He also got a lot of damage because he actually got credited for Pika's reset by hitting a mortar onto him as he tried to reset off the edge. So that counts as environmental kill in Guru's favor. Bermuda can now try and get for the third defensive victory that we've seen on this map so far. What an 8 Pika, nice. The clutch right there.
All right, one of the win cons is now gone. Hypno has that Shadow though, Harry, and they do have the Graviton Surge. Coming out from Phase 2, it does land. Self-destruct in the back line, more of a defensive one to make sure no one from Phase 2 can jump on Bermuda. Another self-destruct gets thrown in by Pika and finds OG. They are finally managing to crack the defense of Bermuda as the Shadow should finish them all off. Pizza Demon Ultimate Whip end up going down. Guru trying to run for the hills, trying to save some of that energy or at least farm up towards another grab. Nishik does end up going down to Shu, and Guru finally works himself away 100% towards that grab. 98%, so he will have that one for the next engagement. 4 minutes is still on the clock, Harry. Bermuda have their chance to defend, but if they can do that once again, they're going to have a superior time bank.
Shu on that last event may have actually saved this one. When Guru was shattered, he bathed him with defense metrics, made sure there was no follow-up. That meant Guru could use his energy to try and build up towards another Graviton Surge, and having that Graviton Surge might be what makes Bermuda able to weather the storm here. We've seen how powerful momentum can be on this point 4 times in a row now. It's been so powerful. Well, 3 times in a row. We'll have to see if it will be a 4th. There's the grab.
There's the grab. It is met with a Transcendence, of course. So nothing coming out just yet. Both beasts are being used as well. There is a Shadow coming through from Bermuda, though. That hit 4 people. Phase 2 are going to get cleaned up. They're going to be able to hold once again, and now they're going to have a superior time bank over Phase 2. Chase them right to their spawn. Yeah, Nishit, there's no way you can run away, mate. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. OG has the speed boost. The rest of the team are heading straight for you.
Sound barrier there lost as well. If the ult tracking is on point there, we'll know on the side of Bermuda that Pizza Demon has a significant advantage when it comes to Transcendence. So what does that mean? That means here that Bermuda can be incredibly aggressive. They can aggress into anyone from the side of Phase 2. They can try and use it to answer its Sonics and his Graviton Surge as well, but maybe we'll decide not to use it that way.
There's the grab. Transcendence is coming in. They're going to have to remove the shield. Self-destruct gets thrown right on top. A duplicate shield doesn't quite find anything, but Pika's mech will be the main victim of all of that damage. Hypnot ends up finding duplicate as well. Phase 2 just building up an ult bank. However, they got 4 on board. 3 minutes now remain, but Bermuda, they're holding firm.
And we talked about this on King's Road, Jaws. Where is the combination of ultimates? We were asking from Bermuda before, but now it's Phase 2. They used the Graviton Surge. They didn't use an Earth Shatter. They didn't use the Self-Destruct. Did they think they could make it work with just swinging into it? They were up against a Transcendence here. They have a Transcendence advantage now. That could be a godsend for them, because Guru's got the Grav.
Look how passive Bermuda are playing now. Nice shatter in the back line. Will end up finding Pika. Graviton Surge gets thrown in. King gets locked up. A Self-Destruct launched in by Pika as well to try and find some additional damage. Hypnot's shield only just surviving and managing to save himself. Shatter gets cancelled from Duplicate as he tried to lay it out. Hypnot and Duplicate end up trading, but the sound barrier advantage is on favor of Bermuda, and now even into a rally as well. Phase 2 needs to chunk through so much HP and armor to try and win this fight. They decide it's not worth it, and they end up backing off.
Well, the chunking at least has got them a nice chunk of change when it comes to that ult bank. It's Onyx once again, has a Graviton Surge ready to go. There's not going to be much to answer on the side of Bermuda. Pizza Demon needs to get one more shot. He will get that Transcendence.
There's the grab. That's what we wanted to talk about. Pizza Demon is going to save them with the Transcendence. Pika had no Self-Destruct to actually combo with that, so they had no damage follow-up. Duplicate's going hard on Hypnot now, as he does have the sound barrier available to him. Another Graviton Surge gets thrown in, but it is going to get blocked off by Duplicate because there's no boot. But Transcendence to seal the deal potentially for Phase 2. They need to make something stick. There are 5-6 members on the point. Literally trying to back off, trying to finish off OG, who's still stalling out.
Hypnot instantly deleted. Guru trying to save his energy here, but needs to save a tick as well. Progress is being gained by Phase 2. Ultimate Web tries to make it work, but it's evaporated.
Finally, they spot OG. They find 2 ticks, and Shu jumping onto the Doomfist to stall even more time. A 1-minute time bank is going to be what they acquire at the end. Phase 2 get halted for so long. They had 6.5 minutes, Harry. Down to now only 1.
First few successful defensive fights we've seen on Horizon Lunar Colony with a scoreline at 4-4. We'll now have to see Phase 2 get a move on when it comes to this offense. They're going to have to be as perfect as they were on their first attempt this time. Because if they get halted once, that could be it. There's such a long commute here from the attacker spawn to the first point. It's kind of strange in terms of how this point works compared to other assaults, that Horizon Lunar Colony is actually so far away in terms of the attacker spawn compared to where the point is. It's almost as far as the defenders is. But the thing is, they do also have that nice long sight line from the first corner they pass into the point due to the hole in the wall. So you can leverage some long-range DPS heroes respawning to get that sort of attrition advantage, but you don't really have those in a 3-3. King currently hovering with Genji, and I would not actually be surprised to see this, because we have seen King bring out a great Genji here on this map before. Or maybe it was Hope. I'm not sure. Someone brought out a great Genji, and we do know King has a great Genji here. But no. Back to Brigitte. The traditionally aggressive Brigitte plays it like a Genji, Jaws. That much is certain.
Yeah, he's jumping up into your face. Unfortunately, he can't Dragon Blade, and there's no reset abilities. Thankfully, by the way. If Brig had a reset ability on her E or something, she would be, well, even more broken than she once was, with the rally lasting an infinite duration. I do kind of miss that as a support player, Harry. I'm not going to lie. Having those shields as Zen. It felt real good. Felt real good. You could take on the world.
This is hyper aggressive here from Bermuda. Will have given up positioning on the point. Will Phase 2 decide to claim it? They will put themselves on there. OG caught out on his own. Look, he's isolated. Faz may be able to take him down.
That is a big boy rotate right there. Hypno once again gets pushed off the point. Just means now Phase 2 can take control. They've almost acquired a tick. They are literally about a pixel away from actually getting it. There we go. They finally managed to secure it. 37% in fact. Ultimate Web ends up going down as well as Hypnot. They do trade up evenly here, but Duplicate falling is going to mean they have no shields to really hide behind. So Phase 2, they're going to have to go for one more, but I'm not sure they can. There's only 10 seconds on the board. So this is now the win condition for Bermuda. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to secure just about 50%. They might just be able to finally touch, but it is all desperation plays now from Phase 2.
There's a power drive from Onyx. Isn't going to get anyone up, and he's been given the Discord Orb for re-entry here from Pika to try and keep this contested.
Not sure it's going to work out too well. King jumping on to the Doomfist, gets instantly grabbed as soon as he comes in. a beat as well as a sound barrier landing on top of each other. Even the shatter coming through from Hypnot to send Pika to his Pika to the floor. Another beat comes in. However, it's only Duplicate and Faz who get afflicted, or in fact Pika too, as he does make himself known back onto the point, but only just finding the remake isn't going to be able to do all too much, as a self-destruct will end it all. Shu finding the two-piece will stop the assault from phase 2. And now, Bermuda, 3 minutes and 40 seconds in their time bank, have only 48% to acquire on first to keep themselves alive in the series.
I need to know what's going on in phase 2 comms at the moment, because OG got away with murder there. He was basically standing next to Nishik the entire round, or just like standing above him. There was nothing to protect him. Nothing! And they do not manage to punish him. OG there was such a free pick. You've got to punish that Lucio, who's getting so aggressive. They almost did it. The second that they turned towards OG, Hypnot went for a charge while Duplicate wasn't looking, but Itsonix managed to shield it. In that case, Hypnot's found himself out of position. Duplicate's just been charged, has his own counter charge potentially, or because Duplicate survived, they can still round on OG, but you cannot allow the Lucio to just freely farm your back and your front line, because it means there's going to be consistent boops onto Duplicate. He's not going to be able to be where he wants. And also Shu playing the high ground again, getting so much cheeky damage in, no one's looking at him. Playing the angles perfectly here are Bermuda.
Well, they got to play everything perfectly right now, Harry. Remember, they are down 2 maps currently. Phase 2 are up 2, of course, on match point as well. 3 minutes and 40 seconds, 48%. That's all they need, mate. That's all they need. And it's going to be a standard 3-3 coming out. Duplicate holding on the high ground, and once more, phase 2, a little bit more defensive in where they want to stand. Yeah,
let's just remember, phase 2 are yet to win a fight on the defense. Just for context, we have been playing this map for about 20 minutes now, yet to win a defensive fight. I have to see if they'll be able to deal with any incoming aggression here from Bermuda. We are going to try and rotate onto point. That's a good start, though.
That could potentially be a win on the defense. There goes Ultimate Wep as well. I think they've done it, Harry. First defensive win of the game for phase 2 as Duplicate finds himself 3 kills.
Had to happen eventually, and once again it was Pizza Demon who got picked first. This is shades of what happened on Nepal Shrine. We saw Nishik getting opening frags onto the Zenyatta, because it seems like Bermuda, they are so focused on keeping Hypnot alive and winning out in the classical shield war and the classical 3-3 frontline battle, that Pizza Demon often finds himself outside of a shield and easily picked.
No pick for Nishik this time, not on Pizza Demon. Unfortunately for him, a big rotation here from Bermuda, giving the L1-2 around the point, on the right, on the side, everywhere. They just want to make sure they can fake out phase 2 and maybe send them to the low ground. That's exactly what they just did. They're going to fight mano a mano, though, onto the point. OG with a beautiful boop onto Duplicate. Can't quite capitalize on it as the rest of his team is playing rather far back as well. Hypno has to get his shield strength back.
Look at how Shu again is playing the high ground, making sure there's always danger for Duplicate shield, always going to be winning out that shield war. Hypnot doesn't have to worry so much. Sonic's going super deep and aggressive here. Hypnot's been pushed out.
Shu on the high ground, like you said. Just look at Duplicate's shield. It's going down so low. Hypnot has a distinct advantage. Duplicate's off to the side as well and lays down the shatter. King ends up going down, forcing out a Transcendence. A Graviton Surge coming through from phase 2 as well, but it's going to get met instantly with the Transcendence. A Graviton Surge right on top of that shatter, though. Hit on Pika with the 4K. The boop on the Rhine shield. Perfect from phase 2. They are continuing to hold on this map. 1 minute and 40 seconds now available for Bermuda to attack.
That's the kind of boot that gives grounds to rename to Faz 2 right there. Great boot, making sure that Hypnot did not know what blew through that shield. Huge amounts of ultimates available. Well, it's one huge ultimate for Shu, but he's almost got the Graviton Surge to combine that with, and the Sound Barrier as well. That could be the combination that's required here for Bermuda to try and take the point, but could be well answered by Faz with the Sound Barrier. Will give a lot of that overshield, which can help people to survive the burst damage of a self-destruct. They can't allow Shu to play on the high ground again, though.
Well, he's only 4% away. They're going to match them on the high ground this time. See Guru jumping forward, goes extremely low. Earns himself a Graviton Surge, however. Pika's going to have to eat it to withstand this game. It's not going to happen. There's the grab. The Transcendence is not going to be available. The self-destruct from Shu's going to find 1. Bermuda have 3 kills on the board. There is 2 support ultimates still going off for phase 2. Pika is going to try to clutch this fight back, but there are 6 people on the point for Bermuda right now. Pika's mech gets destroyed. They only needed 48%. They managed to secure it. Bermuda find their first win in the series. Phase 2 now, still only need 1 map, but it is Bermuda's chance to come back.
Kane tried to get fancy there, trying to shield bash away from Pika's self-destruct, or rather from Shu's self-destruct. Couldn't get himself anything. Let's see this wonderful boop right here.
Boom! Didn't quite see the boop, unfortunately. He was like hiding from his own
You can see Faz jumping around in victory. Hibbity hobbity.
Faz needs to be renamed to Fat for Fat Boops. Kind of. That was kind of bad, but...
Well, Bermuda need to cling on to health in this series. Do still have a potential to reverse sweep. We'll be heading over to Escort, and it will now be the choice of map for Phase 2. So they may decide to take us to somewhere like Rialto, so we can see straight 3 versus 3-3, or maybe we'll go somewhere like Junkertown, where you could often see other types of compositions.
There's also a player called Fat as well. I'm sorry to derail that.
Yeah.
So he can't rename. Don't rename Faz. But to Faz 2.0, that is what I allow you to do that. He's been popping off. He's been so aggressive. And he's been punished so heavily over the last few weeks for going so aggro as soon as teams kind of sniff him out on what he's doing. But now he's really stepping up his game. The whole of Phase 2 are doing that, in fact. Like you said, the next map will be Escort, of course, or the next game type, I should say. And it will be Phase 2's chance to pick. We'll have to see what they want to do. I don't know where they'd want to go, I'm going to be honest, Harry. Like you said, maybe Junkertown, but it does allude to some bit of a bit more strange comps. You could see like a Bastion potentially, or something like an Orisa Hog on defense as well. It does work very well playing around those corners. It will be Junkertown, in fact, being the map choice. Is it going to be 3-3? I can imagine it will be, because I think both teams are now starting to really come alive in the series. It was very much Phase 2 in the beginning, but now Bermuda doing just an insane job of punishing Hypnot.
We have also swapped our sides as well. Bermuda will now
Hypnot.
be in the blue, and Phase 2 will be in the red. We'll have to see if they will actually swap the names in the lobby before we get started. But when we look at Junkertown, this is one of the places where what is often called the pirate ship became incredibly popular, and that usually involves putting your flex support onto a Bastion. And Nishik, he's one of those very aimey flex support, shall we say, so I imagine we could see a Bastion out of him.
Amy, I'm not sure.
Amy.
Right, okay. All right,
one of those
okay.
Amy lads.
He can aim well. Right, we're going to aim to jump to a quick break, guys. We'll be back. A couple of minutes. We'll have Junkertown. Could be our last map as well, so don't go anywhere. Back, Bermuda versus Phase 2. Bermuda just took Horizon Lunar Colony. Phase 2 still on match point. However, they did win the first 2 maps, Nepal and Kings Row back to back. We are going to be jumping on to Junkertown now as the map choice of Phase 2. And they are still keeping their hopes and dreams alive of making it to Contenders, clutching out that 5th place spot as well, Harry. Underwater Squad currently sitting in that spot, but they do have a couple of games to play over the next coming days. But right now, we are looking at Bermuda. They will almost guarantee themselves at least something, well, a place in Contenders, unless something drastically goes wrong. However, if they do manage to clutch this map out as well, they will end up going to a best of 5, a tiebreaker map also. So there's a lot of questions to be answered and a lot of situations where I think both these teams are looking to come out on top.
And for Phase 2, there's a lot of pride on the line as well. They were actually relegated from Contenders in Season 3 of 2018. And when we look at our 2 relegation teams, Sky Foxes, they're currently 5-0. Phase 2...
And guaranteed.
Are not. Phase 2 are not. And no. Phase 2 want to go back to Contenders. They don't want to crash and burn out of the Overwatch Contender sphere in North America. So it's very important here that they clutch up and that they can show that when it comes to these officials, they do have what it takes to win out in these matches. They can't have the Houston Outlaw curse and do very well for 2 maps and then just throw it all away.
No throwing allowed.
Watched the league yesterday.
Woo. Hey, spoilers. Harry. Oh, come on, mate. I mean, people should have seen the replays by now. Come on. What
yeah,
are you doing?
Anyone who's been on Reddit.
Oh, that, yeah. Or Twitter. Support you. Bit of a different kind of combo, though, Harry, coming out the gate. Bermuda running in this Winston instead of the Reinhardt, just taking control of the high ground. Doesn't do so well as the Reinhardt, though, who has the shield advantage, that is for sure.
And Hypnot is also with the sightline of Nishik, who stayed up on the high ground, was quite safe to begin with, could freely lay in those orbs to the monkey.
Onyx is also farming the front line, by the way. Because there's no continual shield coming through from Bermuda, it just leaves Onyx just to right click or even just turn and burn with the left click as well, just through Shu's shield.
And the same thing from Pika as well, with Peace Demons being able to do all the healing because of that, they've already found Nishik. Transcendence and a speed boost. What more could you ask for? Ultimate Webvine and 2 kills. A very, very early Transcendence being used from the side of Bermuda. They're just, I guess they're hoping now that Onyx isn't near that grab. Obviously, we can see he's only 50% of the way there. Peace Team is going to have to do a good job of building that one back up. Can be quite hard against Goats, though, as there's a lot of shielding to kind of get through first. Yeah, Onyx needs to do better. He's got a, uncovered Shu right here that he can try and farm up, or Hypnot as well. But he's not really getting enough done. He's still being outdone by Guru. There's the grab. Nothing to combo with it apart from those hands coming out from Hypnot. The self-destruct gets launched into the air. No, and a Transcendence was used by Nishik also to sustain through that fight. Hypnot doing a good job of just smacking that duplicate off the edge of the map with the Primal Rage. And Faz even laying down the beat. So a lot was invested on that offense for Phase 2, and they find little to nothing. Exactly that. Phase 2 not looking too great at the moment. It's Onyx does have that Gravitron Surge ready to go. Pika can combine it with the self-destruct should it be required, and there's not going to be that consistent shielding available from Hypnot. So the play here is you've got to force out Guru's bubble, you've got to force out Hypnot's bubble, and then you get easy kills. Just grab for supports. You only need 2 or 3 to die from that combination. It'll be a win. Bubble jumps in. There's the grab I was talking about. The Graviton Surge mixed with the bomb. There it goes off. Doesn't find anybody, but it does make sure everybody else scatters as Hypnot is left high and dry on the payload to die. He does end up sorting out a little bit more time, but main tank falling for Bermuda. It's very bad news. Phase 2 now can just round about on them and pick them off one by one. They might be able to go for a recontest, but with OG falling this late, does mean he's going to be very late back to the party with that speed and the AoE healing. 3-3 will win out eventually when it's not up against that many shields. They tracked the cooldowns well, made sure they could take down Hypnot, and that singular pick was all they needed. But Hypnot's back now. They do have OG as well. 6 men ready to go against 6 men here. Bermuda going to have to weather this aggression. Nishik's in so much trouble. There's a grab from Guru. Is going to get messed by Pizza Demon's Transcendence as well as Nishik's as well. So no one will go down just yet. Hold your horses, Harry. Hypnot is going to fall though as he does leap up into the stratosphere, returning to Horizon Lunar Colony. Hypnot OG end up falling. That will be the rest of Bermuda ending up dead. Phase 2 are going to be able to cap the first point. Not the biggest time bank in the world, however. Bermuda did manage to stall out for a fair while. Hypnot is actually going to be staying on this Winston as well. He does have a Primal Rage. He may actually be heading back now. Does look like he may be doing that. No, he's just messing around. Wants to use his Primal Rage to try and displace Bermuda, try and remove Duplicate from the mainstay of his team. We often talk about how Assassin and Lucios try and boot Grindhearts into their team so that they are in a very precarious position. The same thing can be done by a Winston Primal Rage, and it lasts for a lot longer. You can have a lot of those knockbacks come on through. Right now, they're trying to isolate Pika, will not get him. Gonna have to contest the cart instead.
No opportunity for an environmental kill, though, which could be one of their big win cons. There is the Primal Rage straight inside the Graviton Surge. Didn't want to get focused up. That's a self-destruct. Once again, just not finding any kills, but clearing everybody away from that ultimate, meaning they can just focus fire so well. That's exactly what happened, and phase 2 continue to move the payload. Bermuda have to switch something up now. There we go, finally. Hypnot switching off the Winston, going back to the Reinhardt, but is now going to be so far behind in terms of ult charge.
Well, Duplicate does have that ultimate ready to go, so Hypnot's got to hold his nerve here. At least he knows that he doesn't have to get too aggressive to try and force out Duplicate to use his own Earth Shatter. He will be able to play a little bit more defensive, be the shield for his team.
Oh, Faz tried to get the boot there, you can see on Hypnot, to make sure Duplicate can have an opening for a Shatter. A Transcendence from Pizza Demon, and the Shatter on from Duplicate straight into Hypnot as he was charging towards Pika. He had his back turned to the Reinhardt, not what you want to see off your Bermuda right now. They end up using that sound barrier, and it is going to get instantly met with the Graviton Surge. Pizza Demon just gets burnt on out. Nishik's going to be the same, however, but man advantage still for phase 2 on the points. Just all a matter of cleanup now. Bermuda still going to be able to hold on for a little bit longer, but there is 3 minutes for phase 2 to be able to cap 3rd point now.
Messy fight there from both sides. You cannot get that aggressive as Hypnot making that random charge when you know the Duplicate has ready to go the Earth Shatter. And I feel like Onyx there shouldn't have had to invest a Graviton Surge. They had a main tank advantage. They were going to win out that fight anyway.
Speaking of ult advantage, Duplicate once again, 80% on that Shadow. Hypnot even hasn't had his burst yet, only 60%. Transcendence is going to match that grab. Both self-destructs launched in. 3 kills for Pika, 2 kills for Shu. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of deaths. Bermuda have got 2 people now, 1 person left in Guru who only just didn't end up spawning. Phase 2 win that fight with a triple kill from Pika, who's just been showing up, Harry. He heard your words. You said that he was one of your standout demons at the beginning of the season. This time around, he's like, Harry, mate, I've got something to show you. It's my big old self-destruct.
So many bodies turned to Ash. I would have thought Thanos snapped his fingers somewhere. Shu up on the high ground once again, trying to exploit that line of sight. The Pika this time going to be removing him. Learn from the mistakes of Horizon Lunar Colony. Will they punish OG is the question. Big block.
Big block by Hypnot. That's Shield Slam coming in a little bit too late. Regardless, though, Hypnot does end up going down. Transcendence from Pizza Demon to keep everybody alive. They're still on the point and fighting. 2 minutes, 2 minutes almost have been burned here as well. Remember, 3 minutes were in the time bank when they opened those doors. Phase 2 continue to move this cart, though. Feels like Bermuda haven't won a single fight since the first point, and now Phase 2 have a wealth of ultimates yet again. Bermuda just getting out-rotated in this ult game.
The question is, can Pika get 25% before Onyx feels he has to use that Graviton Surge? No, straight in with it.
Grab comes out. Both projector barriers have already been used. A nice beat actually onto Hypnot as well. Just makes him survive just an inch longer. But it's not going to be enough.
Shatter.
Guru ends up going down as well, and he had the Graviton Surge. Guru fell down with ultimate. And now phase 2 were able to cap. Easy peasy. Bermuda cannot win a single fight after the doors opened after first point. Phase 2 just running all over him here to make a statement. They have 58 seconds left in the time bank as well. Pretty respectable when it comes to Junkertown, where we do normally see these rounds go to OT.
It's also incredibly respectable considering they took about 3 minutes to get through that first point alone, having a little bit of trouble dealing with Hypnot's Winston, but the second that they sort of got momentum on their side, that's just how powerful 3-3 is. That's really where you can leverage 3-3, when you have that momentum on your side, when you can keep throwing out these ultimates, where you can have this cyclical generation. Okay, I'm going to grab. We'll swing into the grab. We'll get an Earth Shatter. I'm gonna burn down the people who are Earth Shattered to get a grab. That cyclical ult generation is part of the reason why 3-3 has become as universal as it has become.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Bermuda. Now they're on their last limbs. Phase 2 just steamrolling their way to the 3rd point cap. Now Bermuda is their chance to attack. I like what OG's doing here, potentially starting on the Ana. Just use that high ground, land a big bio grenade. They might be able to just win the first fight straight off of that.
Potentially. So that is a very viable tactic here. You can use the high ground to get a nice little arc onto that grenade. It's going to actually throw out a sleep dart. It's going to move over to Valicio. I would have agreed with you, Jaws. I would have liked to have seen an early biotic grenade here just to try and make sure Duplicate maybe couldn't get healed. You could rush down that singular hero. But instead,
or even force out projected barriers as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, as soon as that's used on Duplicate, you know, you can pretty much run it down using the speed boost and then have a projected barrier of your own. They don't choose to do that. Oh my goodness, that was close. Shu almost fell off the map if that wasn't actually caught on camera. Got booped away by the Brigitte, using those thrusters to get back on top. My goodness. Ultimate weapons up falling. Uh-oh, Hypnos said too. Wow, okay, that's a lot of damage. Onyx already at 100% charge, feels pretty good. Phase 2, holding at the gate. That car hasn't moved an inch.
I have to see if there are any swap-ups here on the side of Bermuda to try and get out of this doorway. Meanwhile, Phase 2, they're standing strong. It's Onyx has been building up quite a bit of charge here, and he's also built up quite a bit of ultimate charge as well. Going to be retreating behind Duplicate Shield, who's losing quite a lot of that shield health here, but Hypnot just as much endangered.
Pika's use of and valuing of the high ground is just so prominent in this map. Shu finally actually pushing him off. There was the 2 different high ground vantage points he was on. He was near the spawn of Bermuda, and then he was on top on the left-hand side. They do manage to finally get that cart moving. Onyx has the grab, ends up throwing it in, but Pizza Demon did earn himself a Transcendent. If not, ends up falling as he got pinned and right-clicked against the wall as Onyx came in big. Guru is farming Pika in the back line too, but he's going to get surrounded upon as well if he's not careful. Still Phase 2, continue to hold. It's very reminiscent of the last round.
He's got a Graviton Surge ready to go. It's going to be very unlikely that this one's eaten. Pika's actually going to challenge him out. Will he be able to eat the grab? He will! He read him like a book!
There we go, Pika. Thank you very much. Harry, he better be going up in your tier list of divas after this match and after this map as well. Humongous diva player in Pika. They continue to hold firm. Duplicate has that shadow ready to go as well. And Guru's just shaking his head, I can imagine.
Someone gave this boy a Thunderstone because he's certainly evolved into the back. He's for self-destruct, not going to pick anyone up, and there's the counter-attack.
Counter-attack from Nishik. He's going to use that Transcendence to push everybody forward. Guru, 85%, 90 now, on towards another grab. Graviton Surge coming out from Phase 2, though, is going to get matched by Peace Demon's Transcendence. Super swinging in and gets himself a Shatter also. Another grab gets thrown out. Not going to get eaten this time, as Hypno and Pizza Demon are going to manage to surround Phase 2, pick them off one by one, and finally get this payload moving.
That was such an expensive fight, though. Jaws Guru had to use yet another Graviton Surge. Luckily, because this last one was it, and he could start building up to a new one straight away. Small little advantage there for him, as much as it was a disadvantage. Pika gobbled that one up. And himself and his Onyx are going to be about equal now on Graviton Surge charge. So it's going to be down to Hypnot and Duplicate. They are the heroes of this coming fight. They need to land large shatters to try and win it for their team.
And look how quickly they got back to the payload too. None of them were staggered, so they're able to just round about on Bermuda almost instantly. The payload moved barely 30 meters, like barely 30 meters.
Hypnot trying to keep his shield alive here. Same for Duplicate. There's the Shadow. We'll get 2.
Ooh, finds Onyx. Into Discord applied. Can't use that personal barrier to cleanse it. Big pin downtown by Duplicate. Doesn't end up finding the kill on Ultimate Web, who had the rally going anyway, so had all the armor to bear too. Bermuda win yet another fight as Hypno does swing for the fences. However, Phase 2 do make sure they are punished for it. They do manage to build up a 5-man ult bank, but with Bermuda only using 2 ults themselves, they do have 4 for the next one too.
Well, let's talk numbers, Jaws. They used 2 ultimates, but they've got 23 seconds remaining to get that first point. They're just going to jump straight down. There's the sound barrier. There's for the Graviton Surge.
Early beat, early grab. Self-destruct launched by Shu. Doesn't quite find anybody just yet. A shadow from Duplicate gets all but blocked up. Ultimate Web was the only one to actually hit the floor. Hypnot taken extremely low. Finally gets taken out by Pika. They end up trading Reinhardt's. Now there's nowhere to go. Self-destruct launched in the air. That forces out the Transcendence from Pizza Demon as well. They're going to have to win the fight ASAP. Shu's Meg and Pika Megs end up falling down. They're trading 1-for-1 across the board. Onyx goes down with the right clicks, ends up earning himself Graviton Surge. Overtime is here, and they are pushing everybody back. Only 3 meters remain for Bermuda to deliver, but Phase 2 are going to be able to take Junkertown, not even granting Bermuda a cap and take the series.
Onyx Edge just doing so much damage. Definitely the MVP of that fight. 3-1. Phase 2, we talked about them. They are the late bloomers. They are making that late run to try and qualify here. Underwater Squad, they are in hot water.
Here's the boy, Pika, launching that self-destruct. Thank you very much. That was instantaneous self-destruct as well. Voice line going off almost exactly the same time. Pika's been stepping up, and he will definitely be stepping up in terms of Diva Power rankings too. There you go, 38 LMs and 28 kill streak as well. It really just sings to the rest of Phase 2, like you said, being these late bloomers, but not losing a single fight. That's the best thing about 3-3. As soon as you get the ults rolling, it's very easy to throw out a grab, earn a shatter, and then throw out another grab, earn another shatter, and then they just rolled on past Bermuda all the way to 3rd, and even halted Bermuda there right at the very beginning before they could even get a cap. Phase 2 looking good in the last week. Their next match tomorrow will be against